This was truly a wonderful, diverse presentation of what marketing design means to the industry, as represented by 4 incredible people that I've had the pleasure to kind of guide. Before I ask this question, I want to ask a question to Richard about this Eileen Gray chair. With all the authority that the auction house had in terms of experts and valuation experts, and if they valued the chair at $2.5 million,
well,
am I missing something?
Well, we'll point out that the estimates should only serve as guides, so you should feel free to bid as you feel enabled. You know, auction houses, one last thing I'll point out is not to forget that we work for the seller. Auction houses present themselves as, you know, we represent both sides of the transaction. At the end of the day, it's about the auction result, and they represent the seller. That particular result, you know, has really everything to do with provenance, celebrity, and just the sort of excitement of the auction. I don't think there's any way you can build a case that it was, you know, when you say what is something worth, you know, it's a unique piece. Is it the best Eileen Gray design? I don't think anyone here could make that case. But it was you know, it's a beautiful chair with a beautiful history, and it was a beautiful price, as we say.
Well, how about the Carlo Molino table? That sort of started it, I think.
Yeah, there was a Carlo Molino table that sold for just under $4 million. I was standing in the room, and that was at Christie's. I thought that the table, that one was estimated at $100,000. I thought it was worth probably about $300,000. I actually boldly stood up and was the first person to start bidding on it, and I bid up to about, you know, $200,000, and then it sold for $3.8 million. So,
for those who want the Carlo Molino table, you can go to Luminary and pay.
That's right.
It's under $10,000. Didier, one moment.
Just to tell Richard about the pod of Roy was showing just at $1 million. In 2000, we had a show with Mark Newson, and during 1 year, this piece was $40,000 at this time, and during 1 year we couldn't sell the show. Just to know.
I would like to open the floor to the audience.
I'm not Nostradamus, but I will. Just for your information, science has been the worst subject in my entire scholastic career, and I hated physics, and I hated chemistry, and I guess I went out nevertheless trying to prove to myself that I could do it. So. We have a substantial dossier of success stories, and I'm not sure if we list some. I mean, you'll see them in some of our publications, especially Matter that we publish. We've had a lot of, there are 2 sides how to answer your question. First, I can't answer you in an extensive way because we are sworn under confidentiality. A lot of our projects, client relationships are quite secret, and we can't reveal them until the client wants us to reveal them. So you must understand that the things that we publish are rather limited. But just as an example, we were out in Portland and we were visiting Adidas, and the R&D person said, "Hey guys, I'm glad you're here because we can celebrate because the material that we blah 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 had worked with you. Well, we won them at we got the prize. We won the Olympics with that shoe that we developed with the material that you and us worked on. But we couldn't have told you this until now, So basically, a lot of the success stories that we have are, a few years old, because by the time we can release them, you've seen the product. You've all seen, for instance, the placemats that you see in many restaurants these days. And they're kind of a material that is sort of taboo to all the environmentalists because it's made of vinyl. And vinyl is taboo to all these believers of natural materials, and they hate vinyl. I don't want to say I hate vinyl, because there are ways vinyl can be useful. But this one particular person has developed a multi-million-dollar business by finding vinyl that's used on beach chairs, those strapped, ugly chairs you buy for $4, and the aluminum is all pitted and ugly, but the vinyl never wears out. And so, being a very smart lady, the company name is Chilevich. Sandy Chilevich is a very smart marketing lady. She's not a designer, she's not a scientist, she's just like the kind of person I admire. She has spent her $450 subscription price for one single user. She came, worked at it, and found something, for whatever reason, was in our library. Because of some technological reason, it was vinyl. And it was used, the kind of vinyl on beach chairs, the ugly beach chair I told you about. She worked with a factory, went down to Tennessee, and worked with a factory to redesign it, recolor it, restripe it, change the weave pattern. And this ugly green and white vinyl that we had on our sample board now appears in mocha and silver stripes. And you go to restaurants, hotels throughout America and Europe, you see her placemats made from exactly that material that used to be green and white, and now it comes in enormous variations, well past the collection we have in the library. But she took this one idea and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business. She shows at all the French shows, the Italian shows, she makes floor mats. She makes them in 16 colors. She's made purses and little zippered bags. You have a whole department at MoMA and other stores. So this, to me, is my role, our role in having made that invention possible. Whether it's that, or whether it's the Adidas shoe, or the Nike shoe with the Jordan. The Jordan shoe is one that has, it's a clunky plastic shoe with the top part of the foot is a woven material again. But the woven material basically is used for conduits. It's to put cables through it. But the engineers thought that it would be a great flap for the top of the shoe. So that obviously, the minute you have a demand for something like that, the manufacturer will be happy to make it in square footage or flat pieces, whatever it is. But it was originally intended as a tube to hold cables in it underground. So there are. But many of the projects we cannot talk about right now because they're really under signed, sealed. I mean, we just came back from a 4-city tour in Korea. We're conducting one. We've done one in New York, another one in Milan. This is the same company who's conducting a sort of a group think tank session with us. And the last one will be in Cologne, where we have also an office. At that point, we will probably know, give you some news about it in a couple of years, but that's about the way our system works. We're really a serious lab that has everything under confidentiality. We're signed under great confidentiality with these people.
I think first for the people who want first to collect things, it can be design or anything else. You know, to collect, for me, it's like a puzzle. So I begin to collect something, and I hide some pieces from like a puzzle. And to speak about for people who want to collect design in the future, first what you have seen with Richard, the prices are going to go down a lot for sure in the next future, and that's for sure. And if you take pieces like there is a lot of pieces for 50s, 60s, 70s, like Eames, Nelson, Pierre Paulin in France, or who are quite cheap now, I think. And I forget. I'm sure that. But if I take these three designers who are huge designers, you will find pieces to buy for hundreds of dollars. So I think it's possible to begin a collection of design now, for sure, for somebody who wants to collect.
I will say, nobody should collect design for an investment. You should collect design because you love it and you're passionate about it. I think that if you choose carefully, you should want to always buy what you love. But as the curators, if you want to look at things, the fascination, what's great about contemporary design is being there while it is being made, trying to decide, is that an important object for the future, is incredibly hard. And there will be future value in the important, things that are later deemed to be important. As the Mark Newsom piece was, you couldn't sell it for $40,000 7 years ago or 10 years ago. Now it's $1 million. There is always going to be that sort of increase in value for things that become important. And I think that's part of the mechanism that will always play out.
Yeah, and about future design, it's what I was saying before. That means till last year, all the designers who wanted to research in my gallery, they had no constraint at all of money, of course. And I'm sure with the crisis, and this, as I told you before, I don't know the ways are going to design. But of course, they will think another way, and this I will tell you, and I will see what they will show me in the next future.
Poverty design, something like that. Poverty design or crisis.
There's several words you don't say. You don't say craft.
Which is kind of sad.
Which is sad. It's a bit of a joke, but I think there is a marketing language that we use that leads to perception. I think the whole idea of limited edition, multiple design art. These are all marketing terms, really.
They're sexy.
They're sexy.
Yeah, for me, art is really different from design. If Donald Judd, when he began to make his tables, he was saying, I have to change my mind to make design. And in art, you have no constraint at all. In design, you have one constraint, or to work on the design, but it can be or practically or theoretically, but it's design. And design art, I really don't know, except the marketing words, I don't know what it means.